Oh, there's a couple of things, both good and bad, that have me fired up regarding the New York Islanders organization. Let's get into it. Kenny C back in action with you guys, my hockey fans, my Islanders fans, specifically for this video. I want all of you guys out there, whoever is watching this right now, hit that subscribe button. It is effortless, but it helps me so immensely in trying to build this thing up because I put a lot of work into these videos. So any and all support is greatly appreciated. And that includes comments. Give me your thoughts in the comments section below. We have some good, we have some bad, as I mentioned, regarding the New York Islanders organization in the midst of the NHL playoffs going on right now, which the Islanders are not a part of because they finished 35-12 and 6th place in the Metro. Completely collapsed in the back end of the season, which we'll get into it. But let's start with the bad news first. This news really pained me to read and just really enraged me, to be honest. I have a background in radio, and seeing the news with the New York Islanders, I'm not sure if it's entirely 1,000,000,000% confirmed, but from the reports that I saw, specifically from Arthur Staple, it does not look good. And Stefan Rosner, shout out to him. Me and him went to Cortland together. Shout out the Red Dragons. My guy Steph also double confirmed this. It's not 100% yet, or it could be, it could not be. I'm not gonna get into the speculation of if it's confirmed or not. I'm just gonna talk about what it is that I saw and what it is could very well be true, and that is the New York Islanders are going to do away with the radio booth consisting of Chris King and Greg Pickard. They are no longer going to have a radio broadcast. This is disgusting. This is outright outlandish. This is a disgrace. A lot of people out there still rely on radio, irrespective of how the industry has gone, with radio sort of being taking a backseat, I should say, to television. People still listen to the radio broadcasts. Islander fans still listen to the Islanders broadcasts. There's many people out there that work late, that may be sitting in traffic, that may be going somewhere, that at 7 o'clock when that puck drops, they want to know what's going on. They're not going to be able to watch the game. You can't watch the game. You shouldn't watch the game while you're driving. Chris King and Greg Pickard have poured their hearts and souls into this organization, and they bleed orange and blue through and through. They have done a phenomenal job. Chris King since taking over in 2010. Greg Pickard joining him on the broadcast in 2014, 2015. These guys are diehards. And the classic calls that we have gotten from Chris King in years past, a guy that comes to the booth with energy every single game, night in and night out. These guys deliver, and you're going to take their jobs away. 15 years on the airwaves. Chris King was on 88.7 HRU, or you can hear them on 1050 sometimes on WEPN, which is ESPN's AM band. These guys have put the work in, and for them to just be wiped away and just forgotten about it, not even given the chance to have a final broadcast. Like, if you're going to do this, give them another year at least, and then have them do a final broadcast, whether that be the regular season finale or hopefully in the playoffs. Hopefully we want Stanley Cup, but whenever the hell the season would end, these guys deserved a proper send-off for what they have contributed to this organization. And you look at Howie Rose's tweet right here. His sentiment is entirely what I am echoing right now. It is a disgrace what the New York Islanders are doing if they actually go ahead and remove play-by-play from the radio and only make it a TV-oriented thing. You can still, there's no way that it costs the Islanders that much money to have a Hofstra radio, to have the Islanders on Hofstra radio. If you want to get rid of the FM band or the AM band, the FM or AM band, then go exclusively to streaming. Make a deal with Hofstra to have the games at least streamed so that these two gentlemen can keep their jobs and continue to bring excellence like they have done night in and night out for years now. I said my piece with that. Very passionate about that. Some of you out there may not be. But now let's get into the good. Lou Lamoriello, the Wicked Witch, I'm being facetious here, the Wicked Witch is dead. This is a good thing for the Islanders organization. in my eyes and in the eyes of a lot of Islander fans out there, it was time. Now, all jokes aside, Lou Lamoriello brought this franchise back to relevancy. We cannot discredit what he did for this organization. When he took over in 2018, gave Garth Snow the boot, came in, got Barry Trotz in here. The Islanders make the playoffs in 2019. They go to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals in 2020, 2021. 2020, Eastern Conference Finals appearance for the Islanders was the first time in 27 years. So let's not sit here and act like Lou did nothing for this organization. He put us back on the map with his Hall of Fame prestige. So honestly, it's a true salute to Lou Lamoriello and what he brought to the Islanders. But from 2022 onward, it has not been great. When you compare Garth Snow's tenure and Lou Lamoriello's tenure, Garth Snow helped the Islanders make the playoffs 4 times. 2016, they got out of the first round for the first time since '93. With Lou, 5 times they made the playoffs. 2 of those were the Eastern Conference Finals. 2020, like I said, first time in 27 years that they made it back to that stage. Lou Lamoriello has done great things for this organization, don't get me wrong. But when you look at the contracts and you look at the attendance last year, the attendance was downright abysmal. Islander fans, the least motivated they've been in years to go to games. There was some serious problems there. The contracts specifically, I'm going to hone in, that Lou Lamoriello gave out. J.G. Pageau was a third-line center. He finished this year with 14 goals. When the Islanders traded for him, when Lou traded for him, when the Islanders were making that push, 2019 they traded for him, they gave him a 6-year, $30 million deal, $5 million annually. For a third-line center that I get it. He's great defensively. He's good. He's pretty solid in the face-off dot. He does the little things that regular fans don't notice. He's not flashy on the stat sheet, but for $5 million annually, you have to have more production from J.G. Pageau. So I thought that looking back on it in hindsight, that was a really bad deal. That was a hindrance, free agency to free agency, that the Islanders could have used that sort of money towards another player and bringing somebody else in. Semyon Varlamov, 2019, the Islanders bring him in, 4 years, $20 million. He's only 31 at that point. But then in 2023, when the man is 35 years old, he's now 36 years old. You signed him to a 4-year, $11 million deal, $2.75 million annually, Lou. That's more money dumped in to a guy who now just had surgery on his knee recently and made 10 starts this past season. These are contracts that have not aged well. Scott Mayfield, defensive liability on the ice. When the Islanders went out and they got Perunovich, and they went out and they got D'Angelo, they were far better on the ice with those guys than when Mayfield was out on the ice. And what did Lou do? He signed them to a 7-year, $3.5 annually million contract. $3.5 million annually. That's not a good deal. Adam Pelech, 8-year deal back in 2021? $5.75 million annually for Adam Pelech, who has regressed in terms of his defenseman prowess. That has regressed in over the last few seasons. Now, he thrived in the Barry Trotz system, not so much under Patty Waugh. Pelech, that's not a good deal in hindsight. Anthony Duclair, the most recent splash over this past summer. 4 years, $14 million, $3.5 million annually. That's the average. 3.5 is the average. But for what we got out of Duclair, essentially an IR guy who barely played, and then when he did play, Patty Waugh finally came out and said he was god-awful. So then he takes time away from the team earlier this April. Not a good look. Who knows what the future is moving forward, even though he's under contract with Duclair. Is he going to want to trade? That would be yet to be seen. But all in all, in the back end of Lou's tenure, not great. He had to go. Another highlight for him, traded Brock Nelson, a rental, got back a lot for him. But then the bad, didn't trade Kyle Palmieri, who's 34 years old? Don't quote me on that. But Palmieri, coming off of a career season, when you look at 48 points, 24 goals, 24 assists, you probably should have moved him too, because now he's going to be a free agent. You got nothing back for Palmieri. and you didn't sign him. You didn't sign him in the middle of the season, which probably wasn't going to happen anyway. But now John Collins, who's a minority owner, leads the charge for a new GM. Is that GM going to want to sign back a 34-year-old even with the season that he had? I'm not so sure. So I thought he could have gotten trade value back for Kyle Palmieri. Same with Anders Lee. 54 points, 29 goals, 25 assists. He was second on the team in points and in goals. Or sorry, first in goals with 29. Even more than Bo Horvat, who led the way with the most points at 57. Anders Lee had a career year. He's up there in age as well. You could have got a return for him having a career year at the age that he is at. But they didn't. Because what did we get year in and year out with Lou since 2022? We're confident with the group that we have moving forward. We got that year in and year out as Lou just watched top free agents pass by on the wayside. And the organization probably felt, look, going into the free agency class for this summer with Mitch Marner, Jacob Slavin, Leon Draisaitl, Victor Hedman on the market, and all of everything that was culminated into this year with the Islanders missing the playoffs. The last 2 years, the Islanders getting bounced by the Hurricanes. Prior to that, they missed the playoffs in 2022. The organization probably thought, look, this guy is outdated. He's got an outdated style and an outdated way of doing things. We got to go out with the old, in with the new, and hope that this new GM goes out and makes a splash. That's what I would like to see from this new GM, whoever it may be. Scott Malkin, John Ledicke, John Collins, you guys got to get this right, because we need a GM that's going to come in here and get this team back on the right track and hone in on cultivating the youth. And that's another thing. Bridgeport has to be completely revamped. They got to blow that thing up and revamp it from the coaches down, because it's a dumpster fire this season especially. It has not been good. It has not been a good farm system, if you will, to raise guys in the minors and make them better and increase their game and have them get better. Kiefer Bellows, Josh Hosang, just to name a couple. Those are a couple of guys that were wasted. Anybody out there that likes the movie A Bronx Tale, I love that movie. That's wasted talent. So the Islanders have a lot of work to do, but I wanted to get in here and give you guys my thoughts. And now I'll end this video with this. Cal Clutterbuck announcing on Instagram his retirement. A few days after, we got Matt Martin, who played his final game in the National Hockey League with the Isles. Matty Martin and Cal Clutterbuck now retired. 1 and 2 all-time on the all-time hits list. These guys were absolute workhorses and absolute class acts for the Islanders organization on anchoring the best fourth line in hockey, in all of hockey, in my opinion, in the 21st century. The MC squared line, Cizikas being the only guy left from that line still active, with now Cal and Martin retired. The MC squared line was an outstanding fourth line, a gritty, hard, we're going to check you, we're going to fight you, we're going to drop the gloves, you're not going to touch our players sort of line. The last of a dying breed, if you will, in Matt Martin and Cal Clutterbuck. So a big salute to Cal Clutterbuck and to Matt Martin. Love you guys both so much. I'm going to get a Matt Martin jersey. Matty Martin, 17 is my lucky number. It fits perfectly. I love Matty Martin. I got to get his jersey, but just wanted to give a kudos to those two gentlemen, because they have been a key cog in this organization for years and years now. Islander fans, I want to know your thoughts. I know my boy Rob out there is going to watch this, and his dad. I want to know your thoughts on this video. I want to know everybody's thoughts. All hockey fans, comment in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel.